live.
We're live, hey!
Hi, my name is Max Lang. I'm the director of the new Christmas special Albert that's premiering this Friday on Nickelodeon at 7 p.m. And I'm here to show you a little bit about what we've been doing, who Albert is, and yeah, how we work in Nickelodeon and make
Cool.
an animated special.
Thank you, Max. Nice to meet you, man.
Hey.
I see some really cool drawings that you've started to warm up with.
Yeah, should I start with the drawing of Albert and tell you a bit about him?
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay. So, usually I start with the eyes. And Albert was definitely, I would say, the hardest design to come up with. Because Christmas trees are, by definition, more very symmetrical characters, very triangular. But our character, we knew that Albert had to be able to do like a lot of things, so we departed a little bit from the usual triangular shape of a Christmas tree and went a bit more natural, gave him branches that he could use to do things with. And since Albert is a CG animated film, most of the drawings were done in the very early design phases and the storyboard phase. So, and that's right now, I am mostly drawing him without his needles, because when you storyboard, you usually try to come up with like a shortcut for your character that you can draw pretty fast and efficient. So most of the time I just blocked in his branches as these volumes and then added some ornaments, and ultimately all the CG is going to take care of that. You still have to hand animate all the ornaments, but at least you don't have to draw them on every frame. And it was quite good, because one of the challenges was like when we were designing Albert, we would put a few ornaments and lights on him, and then we showed it to the network and the producers, and they were always like, we want more ornaments, there have to be more ornaments, there has to be more lights.
Make him brighter and more colorful.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Seems like you found a good balance between the two, though.
yeah, and you always have to be careful that you don't overload him, because you still want to make the character readable.
Right. His facial expressions and
Yeah.
the story.
And he has to be able to move, and if he has ornaments everywhere, you can't do anything with him.
Very cool.
And Albert's best friend is a palm tree called Macy. And she's actually one of my favorite characters in the film, because again, her leaves are usually just block in as a shortcut, because we already have them figured out. But what's great about Macy is she doesn't have arms or anything. She's really just a palm tree. She doesn't have branches that she can use to act or do things with. But she's one of the most flexible characters in the film, and she does the most stuff of all of them. So when you're in animation, that's the kind of stuff you really look out for, and that's the kind of challenges you want, where you can find something that's out of the ordinary and can make it come to life.
And extraordinary.
Yeah. In very creative and inspired ways.
Nice. What's your favorite thing about Albert as a character?
Oh, Albert is definitely, he's the kind of guy, when we were coming up with him, we were like, what kind of personality does he have? Who is he? And he's the guy who, like, at school and the office comes up with the first day of, like, December, he shows up with a Christmas sweater and cookies. He loves Christmas so much. He's so excited about it. It's his favorite time of the year. But unfortunately, because he's quite small and short, like, he's not really allowed to participate in Christmas as a Christmas tree. And that's kind of the tragic side of his story. And he loves it so much, but he's always like on the sideline, just watching as all the big Christmas trees get bored
Right.
and decorate it, and
Poor guy.
but Albert has a lot of friends,
Yeah, seems like he's got some really good friends with him.
so
So
he's
this is Maisie, you said?
yeah, that's Macy.
Macy. Nice.
And then there's a very funny little guy called Gene, and he's a weed that lives in Albert's pot. Because Albert has a very good heart. All the other plants don't really like weeds. To them, they're more like just like bugs or parasites. And Albert, the only one who lets a weed grow in his pot. That's another really nice and lovable thing about Albert.
Oh, so they coexist.
Yes, yeah, and but Gene, even though he's kind of a wisecracking kind of a guy, he talks a lot. He's a bit cynical. He's seen the world. He's a weed. Everyone steps on them, tries to weed them out, and
Literally.
yeah. So he's not that much into Christmas. Like he doesn't believe too much into the good in the world. He's a bit cynical. He's seen too much and experienced too much.
I see.
But
he hangs out with somebody so positive.
yeah, and
like
that
Albert.
yeah. And so there's a lot of funny dynamic coming from these opposing characters. So yeah, so Gene, you can see Gene is tiny. I'm just blocking in Albert's branches right now. And
Wow. Yeah, that's a big size difference.
And yeah, so when Albert sets out on his journey to become the most famous Christmas tree of them all, the Empire City Christmas tree, Gene is not convinced that that's a good idea. He's kind of a naysayer.
I see.
He
But
would
he
say-
goes along for the ride anyway.
Well, he has to because Albert is the only one who let him stay in his pot. But he was quite comfortable in the nursery, and he had a warm spot for himself. And yeah, now he's dragged out into the cold. He has to go on this like big mission that he thinks is like
Pointless.
pointless. Yeah,
I see.
and so he has a lot of funny commentary throughout the way.
He's got an interesting design too.
Yeah, he's another one of these, like, he's one of the few characters that can actually, most of our plants can only move with their pods, right? They can hop with their pods. If they're rooted in, like in the ground, they can't move, and if they're without their pods, they can't move either. But Gene, as a weed, he doesn't depend on a pod, and he can actually come out and crawl on his little vine tentacles, and again, he's for an animator, it's quite a challenge because you've never seen a weed move, but it's also a lot of fun to come up with how to do that.
Really imaginative, yeah. And you mentioned that there were a lot of other pots and plants in the movie
Yes,
too.
yeah,
I
we
see
can have a look at them here.
some of the other plant designs right here.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun to come up with all of these. Those drawings are actually done by our production designer, Silva and Mark. If you can,
Nice.
Google his name, check out his work, he's amazing. And he
Very
came
cool.
up pretty much with all the designs in the film.
Very
And
cool.
yeah, so each of these plants has a completely different look, completely different challenges in terms of how they move.
Yeah.
And they're also very funny, I have to say. Like that, there's a lot of fun coming out of that. If you have a character who doesn't have arms, and you can just like, how do they move, and like, what are they doing? And now they have to grab this and that, and
Yeah.
yeah. So here you can have a look at Macy, how she looks with her final renders and
Beautiful.
textures and lighting. Yeah, and as our characters set out onto this journey, they also encounter a guy named Cactus Pete. And Cactus Pete, without giving too much away, is the bad guy of our story. and he's a cactus. His real name is Roy, but he changed it after he became the mascot of a restaurant chain called Cactus Pete's.
Oh, nice.
And he loves the attention he gets throughout the year from the customers, but every time around Christmas, he gets kicked out into the cold and has to make room for a Christmas tree and all the Christmas decoration. And him and all his cactus friends are, being left out of the door. So he really, really does not appreciate Christmas trees. So when
personal vendetta
and when he discovered that Albert is going to be the most famous Christmas tree of them all, he sets out onto this personal vendetta to stop that from happening.
What a bitter guy.
Yes.
He's got a really cool design, though.
Yeah, and he has 3 arms, so that's a lot of fun. He shoots needles. It's
wow.
It's yeah. And he has a whole gang of different cacti. That's also a lot of fun to watch, and they all have their different needles and weapons. And there's going to be a big chase with the cacti and our friends. So yeah, there's lots of action in Albert too. There's lots of heart, lots of fun, lots of action. It's something for everyone.
Very cool.
Whenever you think you know where it's going, there's going to be a turn, and you're going to be surprised.
Haha. Surprises at every turn. And so this is what Cactus Pete looks like in the final rendering then too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he is a tough guy, and he's also much, much bigger than our characters. I think Albert is about 3 feet tall. He's probably more like 6 feet tall cactus.
Very cool. And this is our guy Albert right here too. This is the final rendering. You can see him with all the ornaments and the lights. Well, these are our lights. Very cool. So Max, tell us a little bit about yourself too. How long have you been in the animation industry?
Oh, I've been working in animation for about 10 years, I would say.
Oh, wow.
I'm from Germany, as you might be able to hear.
I would never have guessed it.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to be an animator when I first saw like The Lion King when I was like 12 years old. I knew there was a German animator working on that who's like from a town nearby where I grew up, so that kind of left an impression on me, and I tried to pursue that goal, and was lucky enough to get accepted in animation school, lucky enough to make lots of good friends who also work in animation. I get a chance to direct a Christmas special called The Gruffalo for the BBC. That was very well received. Later on I followed up with another Christmas special called Room on the Broom.
Room on the Broom, huh? Tell us a little bit about that one.
Well, both The Gruffalo and Room on the Broom were based on very famous British picture books by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. And actually, yeah, so we made these films. I didn't direct them on my own. I always had co-directors, Jacob Schuh and Jan Lachauer. And so we were really lucky. Both films got nominated for an Academy Award. So that
an Academy Award.
Yeah. So we didn't win, but I guess it got us a lot of attention, and probably it also played part in how I got to work on Albert, which is like the first original special for Nickelodeon, and that is something very special, because these days lots of specials or films in general are sequels or based on an existing property, and Nickelodeon kind of took that leap of faith and invested into this all original special with this funny, crazy idea of living plants. And this was 2 writers who came up with that, Will and Aaron Eisenberg.
Right, yeah.
And then and they worked very closely with Chris Viscardi and Will McGraw, who are the executive producers, and they kind of shaped the world even before I was involved, and then they got me involved, and then we kind of tried to figure out how all this whole plant universe is going to work. How do plants see the world? How do they move? We talked about that before. If they don't have arms, how are they going to move? Like we
and
really
walk around and go on this journey and this
Yes.
adventure together. Yeah,
So that was really exciting.
very cool. Do you think that maybe you could show us a little clip from the movie? Maybe
Yes,
give people a little
of
teaser.
course. Yeah, I thought
Sweet.
I could show you like the first 2 or 3 minutes of Albert. That's the first time our plants come to life. Let me see. Does that start now?
Oh yeah. Can you press the space button? There you go.
You can see how the animation looks in previous.
The coast is officially clear. Freedom! This girl's got some roots to stretch. Get some water, get some fertilizer, now's your chance, folks.
Larry! Larry! Has anyone seen my pet ladybug?
Guys, I've grown a flower.
Oh, that's just glued on.
You can't glue on a flower.
You can glue everything. Look, I glued eyes to my butt.
Everyone stay close to your pot spots. Don't wander too far.
Too late, boo. Dad, you're in.
So many different kinds of plants.
sleep around here.
Can't catch me. Whoa, whoa. Gotcha. Uh-oh.
You're a Come on, can we share it?
I knew it. Look, winter's coming. Herman lost another leaf.
That means it's almost Christmas. Say, did somebody say Christmas?
There he is.
Yes. Sing for us, Albert. Me? Sing? Oh, I don't know if I can.
Albert, Albert, Albert,
Come on, Albert. Who's ready to get their jingle on? Sing it, Albert.
That's a cool little preview.
Yeah, and then we're just about to hit our first Christmas song, original Christmas songs in this special too. So that's
Wow.
gonna be lots of fun, very funny ones, all from the point of view of Albert, how
Nice.
Christmas tree might experience Christmas.
Okay, very cool. Thanks for showing us that cool clip. So before we let you go, Max, do you have any tips at all for anybody that's looking to one day direct an original TV animated movie of their own? Any ways that they can help improve themselves? Any things that they can do?
Well, I think the key is you always have to work really, really hard. You have to follow your dreams. You have to believe that they come true, but also you have to be lucky. But to be lucky, first you have to get yourself into a position, like when that luck knocks on your door, you have to be ready, and you have to be prepared. You have to work really hard, and you have to
Right.
make lots of friends who can come with you on this journey. Because obviously, it's not just me making this film. There's lots and lots of people involved in the making of this. Like we had a whole big team over here. We had people overseas. We had people in Canada. This it's not like a one-man show. So it's like
It takes a
lots of
village.
people. Yes.
Lots and lots of people. And it's always helpful when you're friends with those people too, right? So it's
Exactly.
good to be networking
Yeah.
and meeting as many people as you can.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, thank you so much, Max. It was a pleasure meeting you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for telling us a lot more about Albert. When can we watch the movie again?
Friday at 7 p.m. on Nickelodeon.
Nice. And then if we happen to miss that, can we catch it online anywhere?
I think at nick.com the next day.
That's right. Yeah,
Yes.
it'll be available on nick.com. That's right. Forgot about that. Cool. Thank you so much, Max. All right.